Hey guys, it's Dan Lier. Hope you had a great week of practice. I'm excited to deliver you a quick message today. So let's get started and have everybody stand up. Go ahead and do that now. All right, let's get our hands going. 5 brothers, here we go. Yes, brothers, yes, brothers, yes, brothers, yes, brothers, yes, brothers. All right, great. Have a seat, feeling fantastic. So we talked about what it takes to be a winning team. And one of the components is belief. We talked about buy-in, buying into the process, believing in the team, believing in the coaches, the process, and most importantly, believing in you. So let's talk about that for a minute. What is a belief? A belief is a feeling of certainty. I mean, that's really what it is. It's a feeling of certainty. And that's it. The challenging part is that your beliefs drive your behavior. Your beliefs almost control what you do. I'll give you a simple example. When I was playing college basketball, we had a manager who used to hang out with us. And his name was Hesh. That was his nickname. And Hesh would always show up at our games and various parties with these beautiful women. And we had a couple of my teammates came up to him one day and it was like, Hesh, how do you do it, man? How do you find all the beautiful women on campus? And his response was simply this. I mean, he looked at us. He's like, are you kidding me? Look at me. Women love me. Now, Mike was a nice guy. He wasn't overly attractive or anything, but his belief system allowed him to walk up to girls, start talking, create a conversation, and get a date. I mean, think about it. I mean, if you want to talk to somebody over here, but you don't believe that that person will converse with you, you probably won't go over there and talk to that person. That's a belief. It drives your behavior. If you don't believe you can be a contributor on this team, then you won't do the things necessary to prepare yourself to contribute. If you don't believe you can be a great player, all-conference player, all-state player, then you won't do the things necessary. You won't have the discipline, the structure necessary to be that player. So your beliefs drive your behavior. Now, what stops many athletes from maximizing their athletic potential are what I call disempowering beliefs. These are beliefs that hold us down. You could call them negative beliefs. I call them disempowering beliefs. They hold us down. A disempowering belief could be, I'm not fast enough. I'm not quick enough off the line. I'm too slow. I'm too heavy. I'm too thin. I'm not quick where I need to be. I drop big passes. And the list goes on and on. The challenge for the young athlete is that they pick these beliefs up. I mean, we as human beings, we pick these beliefs up from other people, such as friends, competitors, and even former coaches. And those beliefs affect our performance for our entire athletic careers until we make that decision to change a belief. So what I want to teach you today is one simple strategy that you can use to immediately change a belief, and it's called the as-if strategy. Now, some of you upperclassmen here heard me tell this story before, but the story is powerful and it can allow you to make a shift in what you believe. So I'll tell you a quick story about Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, the comedian. He did these impressions. And one day, he's doing pretty well, but you can't get big in Canada. You got to move to Los Angeles. So he goes out there and he's doing pretty well as doing these impressions. Well, one day he says to himself, I don't want to be the next Rich Little. I don't want to do impressions. I want to be the highest paid comedian in the world. I want to make movies. So he goes out, packed house that night at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. He walks out and he starts doing his wacky, crazy, zany things that many of us know him for today. If you've seen him on Pet Detective or some of those wacky movies, he used to do characters like Fireman Bill when he was on Saturday Night Live and In Living Color. Anyway, he comes out and he does that type of routine at the Comedy Store, and people booed him. They didn't like it. They were expecting something else. And the management told him, Jim, if you don't change back and do what you did before, you're fired. We don't want you. He said he was so depressed. He went home. He said he's walking along Mulholland Drive, talking about quitting the business. And he said he goes on TV and he turns on, he's channel surfing, he sees a show called The Hour of Power by a guy named Robert Schiller. And they're talking about acting as if you already are who you want to be. I'm going to repeat that. They were talking about acting as if you already are who you want to be. And so what he did was, it just hit him. He said he took out his checkbook, and many of you might have heard this part of the story. He took out his checkbook and he wrote himself a check to Jim Carrey from Jim Carrey in the amount of $10 million, and he post-dated that check for 6 months. And to Jim Carrey from just Jim Carrey, 6-month post date, and he wrote in the left-hand corner where it says memo, he put for acting services rendered. And he started showing that check to everybody he met, friends, family, actors, agents. And what happened was, he said to himself, he said, if I really, really knew that in 6 months, bang, $10 million was going on my bank account. If I knew that was going to happen, how many hours would I spend making ridiculous faces in front of this mirror? How many auditions would I go after? How many people would I tell I was the funniest man on the planet? How many no's would I be willing to hear if I knew that check was going to be good? And he said the rest was history. He said he walked into these auditions before he wasn't doing very well at all. Kind of like going to practice every day sometimes. You see the same people, and sometimes you don't give it your all. He said he walked into those auditions on that day acting as if he was the highest paid comedian in the world, and things started happening. He got a big break, and he did this movie called Mask, and he got paid $10 million. True story. So why do I tell you this story about Jim Carrey? Think about what your goals are for this year. Maybe you want to be a starter. Maybe you want to be all conference, all state. So my question is this: if you knew that you were going to be that player that you really want to be, if you knew that was going to happen, what would you be willing to do each and every day at practice? If you knew you were going to be that player that you really want to be, how hard would you work? How would you carry yourself into practice? Would you be playing around, or would you be all business if you knew you were going to be the best player that you could possibly be? That's just acting as if. If you're a slot receiver, a wide receiver, and you might have dropped a couple passes in the past, you got to ask yourself, if I knew I'm going across the middle and I'm catching the next pass, how confident would I be? If I knew I was quick off the ball, how confident would I be? If I knew I was the best middle linebacker in the conference, how hard would I work in the off season? How ready would I show up in the practice? So that's my strategy today, guys. Just think about wherever you are right now, wherever you want to be as a player, act as if you're already there, not from an arrogant standpoint, but from a certainty standpoint. If you were the best player you could possibly be, if you were that all-conference player right now, how would you handle yourself? How would you take care of your business in the classroom? How would you approach every practice? So great job today, guys. Looking forward to next week. Have a great practice and a great weekend. See ya. Show what we're made of. I'm a lover, I'm a fighter, I'm a dark side rider. I work hard cause I'm a grinder. I strive to be the best cause I know nothing less. I lead and follow. I do it today and do it tomorrow. I play for my school, I play for my mother. I play to be great, I play for my brothers. I'm a BAM, I'm gonna